So I'm about to conclude the law of relativity here. And Einstein came up with the law of relativity. Nonetheless, Einstein used to smoke a pipe, tobacco. I got a cigarette here. Yeah. Pre-roll, home roll. So essentially, there's a couple different systems that connect to one another. The Book of God, the Law Book, and psychology. Now, let's get into this. So, in the United States, let's start off by saying, in the United States, our motto is "In God We Trust," or "God Bless America," right? God bless America. No, America. So, essentially, the system's all tied together, or they're supposed, right? So you have the Book of God, right? You have the innocent, you have the guilty, because we're going based off the premises of the law and then psychology. So, with that being said, in the Book of God, it says you're not supposed to attack the innocent. You can, however, attack the guilty, for the guilty deserves it. However, that ties into the law book simply because, well, everybody has a right to a fair trial. The amendments protect, the innocent for their safety, nonetheless, and keep the innocent safe from false blame, from weaponry. Within the Book of God, it states that the weapons form, but they will not prosper. The Fourth Amendment and the Second Amendment is supposed to protect that. And then also the First Amendment, in the Book of God, it states that, the fact that sticks and stones may break my bones, but words may never hurt me. Now, that is a learned thing based off of knowing the system as it stands, right? So that's a learned thing. That's what people don't tell you. However, thick skin is a learned thing. It's from taking attacks and taking, growing from it and learning, and ultimately becoming stronger. Okay, we can go deeper in that, but I'm not going to go into deeper into that right now. And then we got the third system of psychology. So nonetheless, if you try to attack a innocent person who is good for long enough, they'll end up figuring out these systems and pretty much putting you in your place for it. However, based off of the law, the victim doesn't have the right to press the charges. However, they can present what is happening. And if someone decides to press the charges, they can, right? If someone's kind enough to press the charges, they can for the victim, right? But the victim can only present what's occurring. And most of the times the victim is not, believed. And that's truly heartbreaking and heart-wrenching. However, regardless of the matter, let's go into the psychology of the fact that if you attack a good person for long enough, they'll end up standing up for themselves and proving it to you that they're not going to allow you to hurt them. For the very fact of an attacker, nonetheless, if going, in such a negative direction on an innocent person, Einstein brought this up as doing the same thing, expecting a different result. As of such, the definition of insanity, and what he was trying to explain was simply the fact that objective reality, right? So objective reality is the act of change and acceptance. If you can't change nor accept it, you ride the line in the middle if the parameters and such call for it. However, when you're attacking a victim who has the ability to stand up for themselves and block you from attacks, such as a self-defense artist, which is what you have to become to play your cards correctly and stay out of trouble. You gotta do things. You gotta be creative. You gotta manage your time wisely. Keep out of trouble, right? But at the same time, if the victim doesn't, if the victim's not going to allow it, you don't have the right to do it, per the nature of the Bible and the law itself, right? So if you don't have a right, you don't have a right. For that is the nature of all of the above. Now, with that being said, the conclusion to all of those is don't mistake kindness for weakness, for kindness is not a weakness. It is a strength, a huge strength. Most people nowadays, they see a very kind person, a very gentle person, and they automatically think that person is stupid, or they have opinion that that person is unintelligent, is the more professional way to say that. However, that is the complete opposite. Everybody's suffering nowadays. But the matter of the cause is, nowadays, in order to be content, kind, and gentle, you have to be extremely smart. For the matter of the cause is intelligence in this day and age is shown with kindness and strength and happiness. For it takes a lot to be so, and it takes a very smart person to be so. So, regardless of popular belief, do not attack kind people, for they're usually hidden, and they're usually the most intelligent people on the planet. Now, with that being said, I'd like to end this with a song, and it's by Benja, and he's a Christian rapper and Christian reggae artist and Christian country artist, right? And it's a song, Armored Up, right? So it's we building something strong, so strong that it can't be broken. Jehovah got me floating. I see the weapons form, but they will not prosper. No, they will not prosper. Fighting on my doubt, cause I'm going higher. Fully armored up, cause I'm a rider. Remember when I said they won't take my soul? I remember Yahweh said he won't let me go. So, and then of such, we ain't never gonna quit. We ain't never gonna quit it, boy. So. As of such and such, God bless America. God bless you, I love you. And in God we trust. Yeah!